Hi, this is going to be a different conversation. You already know this guy from Corridor 7. We have been to school for a long time together, and this is just two friends talking about coffee and its operation. This is not just a regular podcast for any of you guys who are venturing into coffee in some form or the other. This is a gold mine for you. This is my first very unfiltered, no nonsense, in fact first unfiltered, very nonsensical thing. It's just both two guys from the same school talking their heart out and discussing what coffee is and where it is going. Keep watching and tell me how you liked it. See you. If you think about it, but what's the earliest memory of Corridor 7?
Of Corridor 7?
Yeah.
God. I think the day when I was naming it, like the earlier name was supposed to be something else.
Some memory of school, na?
Yeah, so actually it is a memory of school but that came later. Like the first memory was, the first name was supposed to be very political. Like I did not know that because I was way away from politics. It was supposed to be liberal ground coffee.
No, you can't do that.
You can't do that. I'm so glad about it because the concept behind that was liberal because I wanted to keep it all just open. Back then, liberal meant something else. In fact, in 2017, when I went to Melbourne International Coffee Event, wahan pe bhi this thing was liberal ground coffee roast.
Oh, okay.
And then a friend of mine said, "Who is into politics?" Like, bro, don't. Like, okay, I don't know politics, so I'll just take your word onto that. And went back to the drawing board and thought about what the fuck should I name it? Like, what the fuck should I name it? So then it came up. That's why.
But अपने स्कूल में तो 6 फ्लोर थे ना?
नहीं तो 7
फ्लोर कितना था?
7 करते लेना नहीं उससे.
अच्छा.
It is not corridor number 7.
Okay.
So you remember 6th floor में there used to be a lab.
6th फ्लोर में जॉर्डन मैम थी. इतना ही बजा दी. उधर ही वहीं मरते थे हम
lab. Yeah.
वहीं मरते थे.
Correct. तो punishment खाते हुए वो एक corridor बाजू में था जहाँ पे
labs
के लिए coffee बनता था.
I did not know that.
There used to be a staff room वहाँ पे.
नहीं यार 4th फ्लोर पे था ना?
नहीं 6th floor पे भी था.
हाँ क्या?
4th floor पे भी था, 6th floor पे भी वही same उस पे ऊपर में था. So वहाँ पे I remember that first memory where me and Amog, my friend, used to go there and we used to smell that coffee. So that was my first introduction to what coffee is, and I was always fascinated, and I did not know that.
Right.
But when I thought about it, okay, we got to name something, so I'm like, okay, corridor. I think corridor has got a ring to it. 7 is something else. 7 is because the 7 green beans were smuggled by brother Baba Buddha, a Sufi saint from Middle East, planted that in Chikmagalur in India. And that's how coffee started growing in India in 16th century.
Oh, so Chikmagalur estate it's come from the outside.
Yeah. So all coffee that is grown in India has come from outside.
Oh,
Coffee, India was not naturally growing coffee.
But I thought जैसे टी भी बाहर से ही आया ना अपने यहाँ. टी भी बाहर से ऊपर से. Yeah, ऊपर से आया. Nice. तो I mean, I've talked about this to you. कि my memory of you is like the sports guy. And sudden transition to
a field that nobody knows.
Exactly. You basically went into uncharted territory.
Yeah.
So, कैसा किया यार?
I think today's what, 2026, right?
Yeah.
I think I've been drinking coffee since 2003-04. And I used to go for badminton tournaments abroad, all over India and all. And I used to drink bunch of coffee everywhere.
Sir, वो तो कभी specialty coffee type तो होगा नहीं ना, वो तो
specialty coffee क्या रहा था वो नहीं पता.
Exactly, Nescafe और ये तो था सिर्फ.
Never knew CCDs and these instant coffees.
Yeah.
But yeah, one thing led to the other actually. There were like very strange events that happened back to back where 2014 I underwent a surgery, and that was one of the end of the badminton road for me in a way. And usi saal I tore my calf muscle, my ankle was broken. So everything happened back to back. And I had gotten into CA also that time. My final group का 3 subject बचा हुआ था.
Okay.
And I'm so glad I did not go through that in a way. But 2015 was a time when I decided, like, okay, let's go to Ladakh. You know, every guy's dream. I had a Royal Enfield, and from Nagpur to Ladakh, let's go. And my mom, very smartly, she didn't want me to go, but she just said, you know, itne budget mein, you can just go to Melbourne. And the entire budget was like basically from the championship money and all those things. So, and I went to Melbourne. And my sister said, why don't you do a small coffee course over there? I'm like, yeah, very interesting. Yeah, why not? I always wanted to do that. Went there and did that course, and that was a short 2-day course. Like but I can remember every minute of it.
So what do they teach you?
Bunch of things, yeah, right from coffee tasting to that was so basically about just how to use a machine and how to pull a coffee at home. So,
Okay.
you know, there are like around 20-30 people around, and then machines are there. But the moment I touched the machine, like, shit, this is what I really wanted. I'm meant for this. I think I'm meant for this. And I had no clue what to do in that, but I always knew there's more to coffee than what it meets your eye. You know, it's not just a beverage. There's an entire ecosystem behind it. And after those 2 days course where, you know, they teach you about espresso and milk frothing and blah, 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 all those basics, you know. I mean, now it seems basic. That time it was like, wow. Magic, absolutely.
Yeah.
How a bean comes into liquid form, and then what are you drinking, and then, you know, so. But then after those 2 days, I went on to meet, like, I actually started opening up. I started meeting like a lot of roasters over there. And I did not know they're called roasters. I did not know they're called tasters. I did not know there's something like coffee Q grading, quality grading. I had no idea about all these things. Even though मैं books वगैरह पढ़ता था coffee के बारे में, because I was always fascinated by that. But that changed. I think that trip and that thing changed entirely. And I went out of my way to just go up to the barista, because I was not an extrovert, but then I'm going out and I'm talking to him. I'm like, so how much do you make? And I'm like, what the f are you asking, man? Who asks these questions?
Exactly.
You know, what are you doing? And then I remember that it was League of Honest Coffee karke ek tha, and there was Alan who was behind the bar. I don't know if he exists there or the brand, but he was tasting coffee. He was just tasting coffee. And I'm like, dude, that's interesting. There are a lot of people around, but this guy is just tasting coffees. So I walked up to him and I'm like, what are you doing? And he told me Q. And he was very kind about it. And Australians in general, they're like very open. They won't, you know. And I remember then asking, so how much do you make an hour? And the moment I asked him, like, dude, just crossed the line. And he was very happily like, yeah, around $40 an hour and all that. I'm like, so I didn't have a band. I didn't have a gauge. Is it much? Is it low? And I went back to my friend's house, Tom, who we were speaking about. And I told him, Guru, this guy makes 40. And he's like, what? $40 an hour? That's a lot. I'm like, okay, so there is a business to it. There is. So those small pivoting points kind of added up. And yeah, that was a year, man, 2015.
Tom is still into badminton?
He's still into badminton. Yeah, he's coaching over there.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah, one academy and all.
So, but कब चालू किया? C7?
Corridor 7 started 2018 to be precise.
Birdie wala.
Huh.
Yeah. Still there?
Still there. Still very much there.
Yeah, I mean, what's the thinking process is what I'm thinking. You know, India is primarily a tea drinking country.
Yeah, we are tea in the morning.
Yeah, na? So,
yeah.
How do you enter a market primarily tea drinking, and what's the thinking process? मैं ये सोच रहा हूँ. From a pure business point of view.
So, if you look at it from this point of view, India is not really a tea drinking nation. India is a beverage consuming nation. You got to look at it from that point of view.
Okay.
If you give anything which is tasty on the table, it necessarily need not be a tea. Because I'll tell you what, we do say that we are a tea drinking nation, but we don't have a tea culture, so to speak. In a way.
Yeah.
We don't have a ceremony.
It's a default thing.
It's a default thing.
Yeah,
it's like, you know, it's not a premium or a, hey, go to the space and sit down and we'll have a cup. You know, it's not that.
Yeah,
much.
chai is tapri.
Yeah, and you would be surprised to know, correct, chai is tapri. You would be surprised to know India does not even stand in the top 10 consuming nations of the world of chai.
Really? I did not know that.
Even I did not know that. I may be having a different statistics now. Maybe top 7 mein aa gaya hoga. I don't know. By the sheer volume of it. But if you go to the Middle Eastern countries and all, or any other country, they'll have a proper ceremony of,
Yeah, I know.
apne aap ke, it just comes on a tray and we just keep drinking like it's a water kind of a thing. So when you are getting into a beverage sector, if you think of it, in hot segment, how many beverages do you remember?
None.
Just chai and coffee. So it's not really that we are not a coffee drinking nation, but it's more to see that how you expose yourself, how you put yourself into the category of that section, and how do you let people drink that, how do you make them drink that, how do you enable people. So people are ready. If people are on the edge, you just have to push them.
So do you think CCD did the groundwork for you?
100%. 100%. Lot of groundwork. In fact, 94 mein somebody starting a cafe and selling like a 36 rupees something like that. That guy was way ahead. VG Siddhartha, way ahead of his time.
And in our lives, हमको CCD मिला जब अपन 9-10th में थे. VCA.
Yeah.
That was the first CCD in Nagpur.
Yeah. And that was...
We were just out of school. True. So it was...
First time I'd gone, yeah.
भाई 100 रुपए का तब मिलता था.
Devil Zone.
And...
True.
It used to be a thing.
Yeah.
100 रुपए का thing.
Even Barista had come before that, by the way.
But Barista left. It was too early then.
It was too early, it was too expensive.
Yeah.
It was too premiumized.
Yeah.
Wrong market, wrong story. Commoditization was...
Somehow
CCD.
managed.
Yeah, because it kept a good range.
Yeah.
It is. So yeah, for sure. Like CCD did the legwork and the groundwork initially, but then again, in the consumer sector, the trends change super fast. Like in 6 months, 1 year, it's all just different altogether, So 2018, so even before that, actually, when I came back from Australia 2015, I was there for a month, and when I came back, out of sheer complete stars getting aligned in a way, there was a tweet by this company called Blue Tokai, and I was one of their first 40 followers on Twitter, and I was not active on Twitter. It said that we are looking out for a junior roaster. When they put that up, I knew it was mine. I just knew it was mine. Like I had no credentials, nothing. But I joined in 6 September 2015 when we were working from a small room, and then opened up cafe. It was the first cafe, then second cafe. So I was there till 2017. Then went back to Australia again. So there was a lot more that happened between that first trip and Corridor 7. So there was like a complete 3-year entire journey. So my journey starts way before Corridor 7.
Obviously. That's when you're on IVR.
Yeah. So that is how it was.
I mean, I would say Corridor 7 is your arriving moment. Back end में तो कितना कुछ चला रहेगा.
Yeah.
Obviously. Yeah. Explain coffee to me, who is a primarily non-coffee person.
Coffee?
Specialty coffee.
Specialty coffee, technically, or like as a consumer, like general, just like how do you want it? Like you want it like a general?
No, I want to understand. You talk about notes and different coffees. What is all this thing?
So basically, okay, let's keep it technical and then I'll keep it simple.
Yeah, let's keep it technical.
So technically speaking, a coffee, I mean, think of a mango. So which mango are you thinking about? Hapus. I am thinking about the seri.
Yeah.
Right? So exactly how when we say that mango is a mango, no, it's not.
Yeah.
Every mango.
Absolutely. I understand. I understand.
So similarly in coffee also. Like every coffee, every cherry, every bean, every space it grows at, it's all different. So all the tasting notes that come is like all from inherent composition of the coffee, how it's grown, how it's processed, how it's roasted, and all these things, right? But when we say that this coffee has got a tasting note of tangerine and all these things, these are all cuppers notes, when the coffee is cupped on a controlled environment. As a non-technical and a consumer thing, it should just be a good cup of coffee is what I feel.
Yeah.
You don't need to get into... I mean, imagine when we are going to a brewery and this guy is explaining, sir, this hops was grown in this...
मेरे को taste अच्छा चाहिए.
I don't care. Yeah, exactly.
True.
That is where a lot of people go wrong, when they go into the mode of overcomplicating it. Because now coffee has become like a obvious part of day. It's not a experience anymore. It's an obvious part of the day. It has reached there now. So over there, you cannot always say, ki, sir, cold brew maine aisa banaya. Like, just give me a good cup of coffee. So it should be like, when rounded, medium, chocolatey, you're done. You don't need to complicate things. Complications is for us. So always keep those behind the scenes wala story apne paas.
Obviously.
You have to do your work, and then in the front. So that's what coffee is like. Something that you don't look at it for the second time and you just keep drinking. That's what coffee is. Just like what we had chai. By the way, that was very good chai.
Thank you.
Yeah.
My wife will be proud of me.
Yeah, it's really good. So chai ka bhi वैसे है, like you don't get mesmerized by that. So those days of mesmerizing that product is gone.
But then, does every different estate have different taste?
Yeah.
Or you can have different taste within the same estate as well?
Okay, so let me put it this way. One coffee plant, same coffee plant, grown at different regions, same. If we just pick, it'll start tasting different. If the same coffee from the same farm is roasted and is processed in two different manners, will taste different. If the same coffee, same process is roasted in two different manners, it will taste different. And if the same place, same process, same roasted, but two different brewing techniques, it will taste different. So it's that complex. It's that kind of potentially it is that complex.
So how do you, this is a question on your back end thing.
Yeah.
How do you find that right balance that this is going to work for the consumer?
Right. So basically, you need to when we go to the estates and when we look at these coffees, the first calculation mathematically also comes up that is it going to be a daily driver or is it going to be an experimental?
Right.
See, for beer also, it's very easy to understand. For beer also, after a point of time, you will not drink those light and fruity beers. You can't. Just want straightforward.
Yeah.
Your Millers or your Corona. You just want those kind of things. So the 99.99% of the entire wheel ki itne isme 0.01% will be experimental. Literally, that's the ratio. 0.01 will be experimenting. So you get to know that you want and again, like of the 100 or maybe the 1,000 coffees that you sell, about 90% is going to be with milk with sugar. You can't stop, you can't frown upon. It's not your job to do that. So basically, when you want sugar and milk in your coffee, you don't want it to be fruity. You want it to be a little bit chocolatey, a little bit nutty. So that's how you start making decisions right in the estates that and it's over a period of time you understand that this coffee is going to be great for my experimentations. This coffee is great for championship. This coffee is great for your espresso. All those things. So that's an experience that you kind of gauge through. So fairly easy, not very difficult, but a lot of people just get confused onto that roasting side of things. Like they make the consumer so complicated, it makes so difficult for consumer to choose. But
still the majority coffee that is consumed, specialty coffee, is still milk and sugar.
Yeah.
So and then this a cold brew is getting a lot of hype nowadays.
Yeah, that's big for sure. In fact, our top 5 selling beverages which are IP driven are 3 are cold brew based and 2 are milk based. So, but that's for Corridor 7, that's for Nagpur, that's for our consumers in a way. The rest of the entire country has been doing the same thing about the ice creams and all those. That's been the top seller. So you cannot be making it, you cannot be telling the consumers, hey, you know what, that is old school. Now try the fruitier coffees, now try the acidic coffees, and then they're gonna be like, no, just don't mess around with me, It's like butter chicken. Butter chicken has to be the way it has to be. You cannot change it to a certain thing and say, hey, you've been having it all wrong.
Yeah.
You can't do that. हमारे लिए ये है अभी तुमको जो बोलना है बोलो. It's kind of that. So cold brews, yes, it's picking up. It's picked up a lot. In fact, we're just investing in a big cold brew facility also. That's what is happening right now. But again, even in cold brew sector, you want straight up. You want the chocolatey, nutty kind of a taste.
That's the same thing applies.
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely. You cannot make it like a zesty or lemony and all those things. For an experimentation, because for me also, so I always think from this point of view that I am maybe a couple of years ahead of the consumer curve where it's going to be because I'm so much into it.
But usually that's where you find growth.
Correct. And you have to trace your marks and say, you know what, you were here, now the entire sector is going to be here, now it's going to be here. I've stopped having these acidic coffees and fruity coffees on a daily. I don't enjoy. I just want like coffee and I just want to get on my day. I cannot sit down and say, oh my God, what a beautiful coffee and all. I don't have the time for that, all those things. just want a nice, good cup of coffee, which basically a very dear friend of mine says, "Ki yaar, muh se baas aana chahiye coffee." And it should be kind of that, you know. That's how it should be, you know.
But is it a lot of FOMO driven, the coffee consumption? Be very blunt about
Yeah,
it.
yeah, absolutely. See, if it would have been FOMO driven, we wouldn't have been opening 9 stores in like city like Nagpur in the span of 4-5 years, you know, because FOMO is like it goes away. Like Pokemon ka jo pehle tha, you know, that what was that Pokemon? You got to search that. I don't know what it was. I would call that as FOMO driven. This is now a complete lifestyle. It's absolutely a lifestyle. People. And that's the best part. That is where you see actual growth, you know, because when it becomes a part of, like, for example, yoga. Yoga had come to India. I mean, yoga was from India, but then the coolness started coming in 2012, 2013.
Yeah, after it was Americanized.
Correct. Absolutely. Sadly so. But then now look at where it is going.
Yeah.
You know, now it's become a culture. Now it's become a part of your lifestyle. You know, so it's no more a cool thing. It is like, you know, you got to put your efforts. You got to put that hours. You got to sweat it out. So it's no more a FOMO. Same with coffee. It's not a FOMO. It's nothing to. I would say FOMO. What you're referring towards, I would attribute that to जो नया cafe आया है, नया interior आया है, all those. That's FOMO. That's FOMO. But then you'll see like when we started Corridor, there was nobody absolutely. It was just one CCD.
First mover advantage.
I wouldn't call it an advantage, to be honest, because and that is one long discussion I had with one of the senior finance people in the country, that first mover advantage is important. But honestly speaking, first mover advantage is like a lot of arrows on your back, plus a lot of people learning from your mistakes and you wasting your time on a lot of mistakes. So you're clearing the ground, throwing the ground for everybody to just come and go. You're getting tired, you're getting exhausted. So first mover advantage never is going to be your USP. Should never be your USP, because you're not going to be the only person.
Yeah, but also what you had to, I'm guessing, educate a lot of people about
100%.
initially, because wow, meri coffee pay me.
So
Like-
you are here.
Yeah.
Someone is here. Here's consumer is your team.
Exactly.
So to get the team to tell the consumers and then tell the consumers that the team is right, you're doing this only for like first couple of years, you know, and that's a lot of effort. You have to really be driven to really make people understand that, you know what, if you don't like it, it's okay. It's not you. It's probably the beverage today. Tomorrow, try it out. Day after tomorrow, try it out. Just try it out. And then you will see. So you'll be surprised to know, density and population wise, Nagpur is the highest black coffee drinking population in the country.
Thanks to you.
Maybe, yeah. I know. Yeah. So that was 2018, like, you know, when we started off and nobody was there, just one cafe. And then you want to tell everybody that, "Boss, this is how coffee is." And for me, it was very important to keep the business alive. I can't spend my time where the business is not there. It doesn't make sense. True. You know? Yeah, so that's been so speaking of first mover advantage, there's a lot of other things towards it. You know?
Right.
Like it becomes tricky. If you ask me, are you gonna do it all over again? If you had a chance, I'll be like, no, not anymore. There's no chance. There is no chance I would do it all over again. You know, as much as I enjoy the journey, but I wouldn't go back and do this all over again. It's kind of that.
Really?
Yeah, for sure. I will live it, but there's so much to do there. There's so many other things to do in life. So,
But why Nagpur, yaar? I mean, you could go to some tier 1 city where you could have better response.
Sure.
Right?
Sure. That comes to me a lot of times. But back then, what was happening was I had freshly come from Melbourne. I was there for like about.
Was that the time you won that award?
I won the championship.
Yeah.
So India's first AeroPress coffee championship in 2017. And I won that. And I had to go to South Korea in November for the World Championships. And why Nagpur? Look, there was something. I had almost finalized a place in Pune, by the way. Almost. But back then I was also consulting some big brands which I can't take the name.
Obviously.
Unfortunately. but big brands in Southeast Asia countries and in Panama, all these places I was consulting. So for me, it was very evident that if I am traveling non-stop, I cannot set up something in a city like Pune or Bombay where I can say, hey, you know what, aaj band hai aur kal nahi hai, aaj shuru hai parson nahi hai. You know, can't do that. It's very irritating for a consumer. And Nagpur was a good space where I could just buy the roaster, keep it over there, and not open up a retail shop, you know, just roast. So I remember that time I underestimated that people would know about me or know about Corridor 7 because it's just new. But I think within, मेरा estimate was जो green beans खरीदा हुआ है, that will last us for a year. But it got over in like 2.5 months.
Oh, really?
And I was like, dude, I did not expect that to happen. So,
but then that's that's a great confidence building thing ना. वो अपना लेके आता और.
it's a good. AC dries my clothes. Too bad. Yeah, it is. It is a good confidence builder, and then that's how you do 2 + 2. Then add one more step. Then add one more step.
Yeah, obviously. So, but then COVID में क्या हुआ? Did you ever think कि
yeah,
things are going bad?
So we were 7 days away from shutting. Because for me, my philosophy of doing business is that if you put 100 rupees in the first day, that's all. Now you make business out of it. You know, you cannot keep pumping in. So my definition of business is that. Of course, when you go to the growth stage, now where we are at, that's a different story
altogether.
But that was a very, very tricky time. But then thing is, you got to find an opportunity out of it. And it took me like about I think 18, 19 March se leke to May 3rd, there was nothing. It was only survival mode. It was only survival, as for everybody, you know. And that was the time we were just going to take off, by the way. Like, we just started taking off February. It was just going and boom. But that's okay. I mean, in business, that is going to happen if you are a part of it. And if you want to be a part of it. So, 7th of May, we started business again. 7th of May or 9th of May, we started business again. At a very small kind of window takeaway kind of a thing. And I pivoted the entire operation of it in such a way that, you know, by the time you place an order, the beverage will be ready, freshly made and all over there. So we pivoted that entire operation in that way. And we saw numbers by, say, June, July, okay, and they were shut down, lockdown, all those things happening. But then in those operations, we saw the numbers that we'd never imagined. And that is where the concept of Brim also came up. You know,
okay,
you know, we could ideally, why not also have small spaces? And by that time, I'd also gotten a realization and a validation, so to speak, that boss, it's not a, what do you say, flash in a pan. It's here to stay.
Yeah.
You know, coffee is here to stay.
POC ho gaya na?
Sorry?
POC ho gaya na? Proof of concept.
Yeah, for sure. So that was it. And then it was like, you know, why not pivot in directions where small places, small spaces, quick service and move it. So COVID was really good. COVID was really good because we could pivot. You know, for people who couldn't pivot, surely it was a tricky thing because of situations, conditions, mindset, a lot of things together. But then coming from a sports background, it is like, this is the time when you basically push yourself.
Yeah.
You can't push yourself always when you're winning, when you're down, when things are not. We didn't have paper cups. Because I was adamant till March that boss, I'll never give a coffee in a paper cup. I'm going to serve coffee.
Taste alter hota hoga na?
100%. 100% hota hai. But then the paper cups came in and we designed overnight. I remember that overnight, I'm like, enter, boom, send it for printing. And even the paper cups, how they came was a journey altogether. It was almost like we were smuggling something because everything was shut. One factory up north was functioning somehow. They sent a consignment midway. Our guys went midway. I went halfway somewhere. Wahan se kuch consignment aaya. Then the paper cups came. Then we forgot we need lids. So, all those small things. And then we were giving, hey, you know what, we don't have lids. Why don't we just put a silver foil and all those things? But then that was like a journey once upon a time. So COVID was a time when we pivoted. That was a very interesting time. It was very tricky for sure because 4 p.m. sharp, 8 p.m. sharp, half operation. It never made sense to me. It should be 24/7. Then you curb it because then you're restricting the amount of people. But then again, goes to death.
I remember वो cough syrup जैसे bottle में you decide something. What was that thing?
We still do that. Those are basically espresso shots.
Okay.
So you can brew it at home and all those things.
So it's a concentrate.
It's a concentrate. Yeah.
Okay.
It's a concentrate.
I remember because that was the first time I was hearing a lot of chatter about
2020.
Yeah, you then. So, in Mithilesh, coffee, yeah. Everybody from the school was like, "Bhai, kya khatarnak hai." And
Nice.
so that was my first try at. तो हमने Zomato से मंगाया था वो.
Okay.
Zomato से
2020 COVID में.
got it from Zomato concentrate.
Yeah.
But I mean, very strong for me.
Yeah.
And primarily a person who doesn't understand coffee
And doesn't like coffee.
and doesn't like coffee. Merely that was a very bitter experience. I think that's the right word I can think about. But Shweta loved it.
Got it.
But somehow over the years, Shweta भी अभी चाय person बन गई है. She would enjoy coffee now and then. But so that was my first introduction to you then. पर जब the C7 is Vazalwar launch redone ना?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
2022.
yeah. So
23.
I have been to that place. I think I'm the only one जो खाना खाने आया उधर.
Yeah.
मैं नहीं पिया coffee कभी. But and I'll tell you, I'm telling this to you on air. You just I think changed your menu अभी बीच में.
We keep doing it.
हाँ.
We keep doing it.
तो you have a sandwich called as a CLT.
Yeah.
वो क्यों हटाया?
A lot of man.
यार क्या sexy चीज है यार वो.
Yeah, this
ऐसा मत
happens
कर.
with us. This happens with us so much. Like we keep changing the menu.
I understand that.
Okay, but what happens is like I remember the first time it happened was in 2019. Aman Financial करके था हम लोग करते थे वो. And we used to make a batch of 6 and 3 used to get wasted. And 3 used to be consumed in like a week. We discontinued. The next day, over 15 people ordered Aman Finance. And we are like, yeah, did we post about discontinuation? What did we do? And then everybody, no, get it. And then first 20-30 days, boom. It was like all 6 sold, make a batch of 12, all 12 sold, make a batch of 18, all 18 sold. All those things happened. Again, it flattened. And then we discontinued. And again, the same thing. Why did you discontinue? We've been blessed or we've been, I don't know what, but this always happens that whenever we discontinue, so we discontinue a lot of bottom 5, bottom 6, right?
करना ही पड़ता है.
But the moment we discontinue that, boom, we started like, यार मेरे को तो try करना. My family, my friends, they also say like, यार मेरे को try करना था क्यों नहीं? And I'm like, yeah, there was a time when you had to try. Now you are saying you wanted to try. So yeah, it's on the consumption pattern. It's on the
No, what forget about my taste.
yeah.
I'm trying to understand that that was a fantastic piece of thing. In my head, operationally, business point of view, I'm trying to think कि if something works, उसको मत नहीं छेड़ने का. Is what I think.
Sure.
Obviously.
Sure.
So was that not working or what?
So see, CLT we still have, by the way. BLT we don't. BLT.
Yeah.
Bacon lettuce.
Yeah.
BLT we don't have because the consumptions were not as high, and we wanted to replace that with something else.
Okay, so that was it. I thought.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah. So I will see a lot of like now we've got an archive of around 700-800 dishes that we had to kind of archive and put on hold, and some are like really good and my favorite. So this happens a lot.
ऐसा कभी लगा क्या कि am I in the wrong space? बंद कर देता हूँ. Let's do something else.
Oh no.
कभी नहीं लगा. Never during COVID when you were 7 days from
No.
Maybe you would have still done coffee in a different way.
For sure. I mean, even if COVID would have lasted for 4 years, I would have done the same. There's no chance. That never comes through. That never came through.
But then, how many branches do you have?
So we've got 9 right now, 1 coming up in Melbourne, and then 4 more stores opening up in the city, and then we're expanding in other cities.
9 branches in Nagpur itself.
Nagpur right now, yeah.
including the Brim.
Including the Brim, yeah, all put together. Yeah,
And you had that Lokmat Square के ऊपर कुछ तो भी
the
था.
12th floor we still have.
Still have
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
What's the thinking behind that process?
Behind the Lokmat one.
Yeah.
So basically, that was a COVID time property that had come up, and for me it was like, yeah, nobody's gonna come there. There's no chance. There's no chance.
Pretty old building.
Pretty old building, and it's an office building. It's not it's not a building to go sort of a thing. And the person who basically suggested me that place, Mr. Vikas Pincha, and he's like a gem of a person.
I know him.
You know him? Gem of a person, like insane what he's done for us in the recent past also. So he had suggested me like, why don't you just go there, just have a look. And I was like, yeah, sir, नहीं होगा. And then he said like, यार आप अगर बर्डी में अगर गोल्ड माइन बना सकते हो ना, तो आप कहीं पे भी कुछ भी कर सकते हो. And then he said one thing, he's like, सर आप 5% थॉट दे दो, चाबी ये है, आपको जब जाना है चलो. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 महीना हो गया. And then I'm like, चलो यार, let's just go now. I've got the time. And I went there and I'm like, यार यहाँ पे क्या बनाऊँ मैं. I went there, I remember I went there at around 1 o'clock, 11 o'clock in the night. And I came back at 4:30 in the morning. And on my way back down, I'm like, yaar, why would people come? And all of a sudden the answer came up, bro, why were you here for 5.5 hours? Because of the bloody view.
Is that a good view?
It's a beautiful view.
Really?
It's a beautiful view. You get a 360 of the entire city.
Okay.
You get to see the fort, you get to see a lot of things. And then in the city, you don't have that a high rise where you can go and becomes your personal balcony or personal terrace. You know, like 12th floor and even higher sort of a thing. And it's quiet. I always tell everybody is don't take your phones over there. Just keep the phone in the car, have a coffee and just stand outside. So that was the entire concept behind the store over there. And it worked.
So it works during the day or it's mostly...
It's morning 9 to 10:30 in the night. So good.
Do you have time restrictions?
Of course, yeah. In that we've got 11 o'clock hard shut. And yeah.
Because summers में standing outside is a pain.
Point.
It's a pain.
But summers in the evening it's very breezy.
Yeah.
So that's the only time which is very good.
Right.
And we've got indoors also, of course.
Obviously, I get it.
then,
But mostly people come there for the view.
correct.
Exactly.
True.
Nice.
It's a thinking pad.
Could be.
Yeah, it is a thinking pad. Like there's also a co-working space now on the 12th floor. So that also kind of adds up quite a lot.
Yeah.
But it is a thinking pad. Even I go there. Like whenever I want to kind of keep my phone away, I just go there and then sit down and we do a bunch of events over there, bunch of stuff over there. So that's good.
How many verticals do you have in the business?
So we call ourselves a 3-tier engine where we basically are roasting for about 250, 300 odd cafes pan India. And by roasting, I mean that our entire relation with the farmers is there, and then we get the green beans from there. We roast it at our store, and we ship it under the brand name of Corridor 7. So it's almost like an example of Coca-Cola fridge in your restaurant kind of a thing. So a lot of cafes, big cafes in the country, they use Corridor 7 as their trusted roasting partner. The second is a Corridor 7 cafe, which essentially does vineyardery or in-house bakes, in-house bakery, food and specialty coffee. And then the third one is a Brim, which is a QSR, which is like about 250-300 odd square feet space, limited menu. It's like almost a trailer of what Corridor 7 is into the terms of not experience, but beverages. So these 3 verticals are there so far. There is a 3.1 also in a way, which is essentially an academy. So we are affiliated with the European and the American Association of Coffee.
Right.
And we do bunch of these certification courses on coffee. And we are now...
So you train other people?
Yeah. So now we're getting into the rural development program as well.
What does that mean?
So basically what is happening is the big gap is that a lot of people go to the big colleges for 3, 4, 5 years of studies and all. And I've seen more often than not many get that experience or exposure or understanding of what they want to do. And thanks to the entire social media and all these things coming up, a lot of people just start off in 2 months. So this 5 year and this 2 months, they are comparing with each other. And this guy says like, bro, what the hell did I do? So there's a big gap where, you can do some hospitality courses or coffee courses or beverage programs, where people can be a barista, can be a server, can be a chef, can be a baker. within the span of 6 months, so we're developing those programs right now.
But so you said you used the word rural development.
Yeah.
So you're focusing on probably India to India 3 segment.
100%.
है ना?
100%.
But how much does a barista make? Ballpark it.
Starts anywhere between 14 to 15K.
Okay.
Minimum wages, of course.
Yeah, like that.
Good barista would go on to making, 70, 80K for sure from a city like Nagpur, which is not bad at all.
Absolutely not.
Not bad at all.
With the 6 months course can give you 70, 80.
If not 70, 80, the 6 month can give you at least 25 to begin with.
Yeah.
And good 35, 40 to start off within a year or so.
जो engineering करके भी इतना नहीं मिलता.
नहीं मिलता है.
I mean, I know this for a fact because Shweta is been now 15 years into the industry. उसका जो starting package तब था, आज भी starting package उतना ही है.
Seriously?
हाँ.
Oh my God.
तब engineers were hired at, I'm talking about 2011-12.
Yeah.
तब engineers was starting package 3.5 होता था. Shweta still hiring at 3.5.
What are you saying, man? And people join. There you go. So that's what, and what I feel is like I love training somebody who doesn't know anything about hospitality, because, I love that hesitation that they've got, because you've got to think about this thing. Like most of the team members who come to Corridor, 70% I would say are not from hospitality background whatsoever. They have come from smaller towns where calling cappuccino is difficult for them on day one. And imagine when they are on the floor, people are getting down from the big cars, talking in English, they're very overwhelmed. But I always tell them ki hospitality mein the best hospitality you will get when somebody is little hesitant, little hesitant rather than being cocky. When somebody knows a lot, they become like, yeah, what do you want? Okay. And then the guest is not really comfortable. They're like, yeah, back off a little bit. But when the person who's like just, thoda sa ek घबराहट भी है, डर भी है, that is the best way, because then you guys are kind of connecting and you've got a relation building and you are helping each other. And the person, and I've told the team, I don't care if you talk in Hindi, Telugu, English, Malayali, till the time the guest doesn't understand, that's whatever we talk. You want to pronounce it wrong, doesn't matter. If you want to say out that I'm really sorry, I don't know about this thing because it's my first day, go say that, but say it.
I'll get somebody else help you.
Exactly. Yeah. So do not hesitate. You got our backing completely. And we've seen that happen a lot of times. Like, and I keep telling them, like, our guests are one of the best guests because nobody comes and says, yaar, आप English में बात नहीं कर रहे, आप हिंदी में बात कर रहे हो, ऐसा कैसे हो गए, आपको नहीं पता, आपको कुछ नहीं. Nobody says that. It's a different thing altogether.
One off ऐसा कुछ हुआ तो हुआ एक आध बार.
होता है.
हाँ तो होता है.
But then you're looking at
you train for the most common scenarios.
Yeah, you getting like 3,000 guests every day for all outlets, and then one incident that's like nothing.
True. But I was talking to Urvashi ma'am.
Yeah.
So we take care of the family बहुत पहले से.
Okay.
This is the question I'd asked her. People coming from rural background and now you train them to be baristas. भाई communication train करने में
टाइम लगा.
कितना overwhelmed लगते होंगे यार वो लोग from them to be at the counter.
Yeah.
That's a lot of journey for you also to train them. Confidence building में ही तो बहुत ज़्यादा.
यार मैं बताऊँ, I'll take an example of 2018 where there were these two girls. I remember the name Pooja and Achal. They'd come from Gadchiroli. Believe me, first day same जो मैं बता रहा हूँ actual में हुआ है. Cappuccino, Copacino, something they were talking about. If I would have made fun of them, they would have left.
Yeah.
But you got to remember that even I was there someday, and that gets to me from the badminton days where if I'm at a big tournament and if it's my first day, some senior must have told me that, bro, it's okay. It's okay, So that is how you have to build a team.
100%.
Right? And within 3 months, they had taken over in such a way that I used to call the store if I was traveling, ki kaun hai floor pen, if somebody said Pooja, I used to hang up. I'm like, okay, done.
Wherever,
So the first week is the most toughest week for anybody at Card. Anybody, because there's so much happening, and a lot of times what happens, I'll tell you an incident, 2021, I don't remember. this guy from hospitality background at big hotels, worked over here, there, reached out to me. I want to work over here. I want to build this out. I'm like, sure, why not come? First day he joins in and he starts talking in all jargons and all. I'm like, bro, listen, I don't understand coffee, bro. Ekdam easy karke bata na bhai. So then he mellowed down and he's like, sir, how do you not know? Well, I am a consumer who's talking right now. Understand that. I am not Mithilesh. I am talking to you as a consumer. I'm not interested in know your jargon. So understand that. First day, very bouncy, very chirpy and all those things. Hospitality background, I'm telling you, I'm enunciating that for a reason. 2021 ka baat hai. And I used to be on the floor that time a lot. And he said ki, sir, I have to go for the washroom. Can I? I'm like, don't ask all these things. Go. 6 hours into his shift. 2021 का बात है और आज 2026 से अभी तक वो वॉशरूम से बाहर नहीं है. वो उधर से निकल गया वो. You know, because he got swamped and he's like, dude, what is happening? So a lot of people underestimate the kind of work that might happen over here.
I'll give you an example from my field. Not all, but some doctors, they are very good in theory. कि मेरा पेट दुख रहा है,
ये हो गया, वो हो गया, all those things.
You can't communicate to the patient only
in mild understandable language.
You will take आपके your lung
lymphosarcoma of intestine.
तो भी बोलेंगे. Come down to that level, no? And more often than not, somehow, this is my reading and I can be so wrong, जो bookish doctors होते हैं ना, they don't do so well in practice.
Right, I know what you mean.
Because your private practice is a very patient-facing thing. You have to come down to that level. वो patient को आप बहुत अच्छा treatment कर रहे हो, पर अगर आप you can't communicate to the patient, मेरे को ये तकलीफ है, मैं आपको ये करूँगा, this is what we plan your treatment.
So true.
नहीं आएगा वो वापस.
So true.
You will have all the fancy degrees,
but
if you can't do the basic communication right, you will never survive.
100%.
In fact, आपकी skill 90% है ना, वो चलता है patient को.
Yeah.
But your communication skills are 100, that is what they require.
Correct.
I've seen that so many times.
No, you're so right, because if I tell you, like, if you come for a coffee, again, related to the same thing, if you come down to coffee and if you ask for a hot black coffee, and if I tell you, bro, this iska refractometer reading ये था, इसका TDS meter ये था, you'll be like, wow, and you'll never ask again, you'll never order again. True. Never order again, you know.
True.
I just want to know what do you do, and I'll be like, you know what, I found it chocolatey, a little bit nutty, and I thought I'll just push this over here. That's about it. You know, you have to make it way lymphosarcoma of intestine. Anand jo वैसा था वो.
So
you have to make it easy.
You have to make it easy. Wait.
You're not into fine dine. You're not. In fact, I'll tell you something. I have gotten bored of fine dine. Of the 7-course meals and all this.
नहीं पसंद मेरे को.
I get bored. I was into it a lot, but why I don't like it is you have done what you wanted to do.
Yeah.
Please don't take me through that.
Yeah.
Don't bug me through that, boss. Yeah. Give me in short, crisp. Give me a nice book. I'll read it if I want to. I'll enjoy it. That's about it. One of the places we went to in Malaysia, they bored the shit out of us, man. And they're explaining, oh, we did this, we did. अभी मेरा एक्सप्रेशन में कितना और खुश दिखाऊं, अब मैं चढ़े जाऊँ टेबल पे, मैं क्या करूँ मैं. After a point of time, you're like, bro, it's too much of information.
I know.
I'm here with my wife. We wanted to enjoy, have a nice time. You boring ones, you know. So you're absolutely right that communication has to be there. And this is exactly what I also tell them कि भाई आप उनको सिर्फ ये बताओ, बर्गर है, एक चिकन को हम लोग टुकड़े करके डालते हैं, उसको अंडा बॉल करके, कोई टेंशन नहीं है भाई, कोई नहीं बोलेगा.
देख मेमोरी अनलॉक हुआ. So last year was our 10-year anniversary.
Oh wow.
तो ऐसे गए, ऐसे घूमने गए. तो दुबई में I booked a very fine dine restaurant on the day of the 11-course meal, full बकचोदी. Total 3-4 हज़ार दिरहम एक डिनर में फूक दिया मैंने. And server was an Indian guy. मैंने उसको eventually by 3rd course बोला, भाई रख जा नहीं सुनना, होगा बहुत अच्छा, नहीं चाहिए. Khatam kar. Mat kar. Because it's a special day. I want to enjoy with my wife.
Correct. I'm not here for you, bro.
क्यों कर रहा है भाई?
True.
I eventually gave him 100 dirham का नोट. बोला मेरे को अकेला छोड़. ला और रख दे.
That happens. That is exactly where the line has to be kind of drawn. And when the people from the rural area they come with like a mental picture of somebody getting out of a big car to be like they want a top-notch service from the point of view of ingredients and all those things. No boss. They want to know you. They just want to know you. आप कहाँ से आए हो? आप क्या करते हो? आपको क्या पसंद है? I'm telling you, a good service will be compensated by a bad product. That is how it is. And good service का definition बहुत लोगों को नहीं समझ में आता है.
बहुत ओवर कॉम्प्लिकेट करके
All over complicated. यार, it's as simple as if you come to the store and I'm like, hey, how are you, man? क्या कर रहा है? क्या खाएगा? Chicken, veg. Hey, you want to try this? I love this. I tried this yesterday. You'll be like, bro, I'm good now. That's about it. You know. I don't want to tell you. I mean, the same. I think it's the same thing.
Yeah.
So,
कभी फंडिंग वगैरह लिया क्या तूने कि यू आर कंप्लीटली आई नो यू आर बूटस्ट्रैप्ड पर ऐसा कभी लगा नहीं कि टेक फंडिंग एंड ग्रो?
we are in the process right now for a lot of things right now. Till now it was bootstrapped completely. And now let's see a lot of things to come up. Too early to speak on.
No, I get it. But growth phase के लिए अच्छा रहता है ना हमेशा.
Yeah, for sure.
100%.
I mean, again, it's not a. I would advise whoever's listening not to take my word onto that. Key, you should at this. Everybody has got its own journey pace. But one thing that I want to definitely tell the founders is do not romanticize with your product. You do not.
That's where things go wrong.
That's where you will never move, and you will just be in a cocoon, a shell, and you will think that this is my reality, and you will start solving wrong problems, which does not exist. So I think it's important to not romanticize and be practical about it. And I keep telling, me and Richa, my wife, we keep discussing about this thing that, there are 3 ways to do it right now. Stay put the way you are. It's okay. It's just stay as we're talking right now. Like, it's okay. We can just stay. Subah bola, darwaza band kar diya, so gaye, ban raha hai. That's one. Second is stay bootstrapped. Keep doing the same thing, same way. Third is take private equity or venture or whatever it is. In all these 3, you will have certain things that you'll be compromising on. In the first one, you'll be compromising on the ambition. Second one, you'll be compromising on the time that you've got. Third one, you'll be compromising on the kind of possibility of opportunity cost of the time that you could have spent in your family or something. Everything. You have to pick your battle.
Yeah. From a pure business perspective, you could have taken a PE or a VC guy pretty early.
Yeah.
तो तब सोचा नहीं था कि अभी सोच रहा है what is the thing?
Yeah, honestly, I never wanted to go into that route for at least like 3-4 years because I wanted to get my championship done, wanted to represent India at the world stage, and then when all these things happen, these factors they don't really you don't get the time to do all those things. Then it's all about the top line, bottom line. There's nothing in between that you can kind of build. So those were the things that I wanted to get done, and at the same time, like we could have been funded from the day 20th in a way.
Exactly, that's what I think. Yeah.
But again, there's a charm in building by your own.
100%.
Gradually, take it easy in a way and then push it. Plus, keeping it profitable was a very important thing for me. So yeah, now I feel it's the right time. So now it's all about, as I said earlier, it's about the founder's mindset. When is the right time for you? But stop romanticizing about the product or anything as a problem, and then you take it ahead. Additionally, so very happily I can definitely say that now in India, so we're not a local Nagpur brand, but then whenever coffee brands' name are taken in India, it is Chartered 7 that comes in the top 5 easily, and the only brand from tier 2 which basically has made the cut. That, if not validates, but says a lot that what we've been building so far has been working out at a national scale, if not the footprint, but at least the bandwidth or the mind space that we are taking of a lot of people, So there's a different charm to that altogether.
You know, but you're growing in Melbourne right now. No? Why Melbourne? Why didn't you expand in India per se? Pehle? And
It's not a mutually exclusive thing.
okay,
It's not like if you're doing Melbourne, you're not doing any other city.
Yeah.
But I've been a fan of doing something which is very, very tough. Like in a city like Nagpur, nobody drinks coffee. And then you want to do that. That's a different opportunity for sure. But at the same time, different feeling altogether.
yeah.
Same goes for Melbourne, that it's a crowded like hell market. They know their coffee right, left, center. You ace it over there, you ace it in the world now. It's kind of that. You acing it in Nagpur, you're acing in the world. Both sides covered. So that's the mindset behind that. That's the thought process behind that. Do it at the toughest things and then you're eating the frog earlier. It's kind of that.
Right. There are other brands, na? There's a Blue Tokai karke, and there is one more, na?
Third wave.
Yeah. Are these competitions or what for you right now?
See, my answer will never change. My answer will be always that my competition will be my other store. It's kind of that, to be honest. It's nothing. I don't know what Blue Tokai does. I don't know what Third Wave does. Neither do they care. Neither do we care because the market is so big that
There is space for everybody to grow.
There's a space for at least 10 big brands in India, for sure.
Okay.
And if we keep bothering about what others are doing or what others are not doing, you forget your DNA kind of a thing. It's about that. So
वो कौन सा था यार? वो एक बार मैंने ad देखा था. Pouch खुलता है, and then it opens up.
yeah,
Like a white packet thing. It gets put on the top.
and
then you do a pour.
So that's
what is that brand or it's a something?
No, it's a product.
It's a product.
It's a product. So we do something called a UFO.
Okay.
We launched it first. The first people to launch it in India were we. That's also almost the same. It's almost like a disc that you keep it on the cup and you put hot water in it.
वो तो cone वाला जो है.
Cone नहीं, but
वो है ना वैसा
kind of.
pyramid kind of a thing.
Actually a curve.
Yeah, curve.
Actually a curve.
Yeah.
The cone one you're talking is a manual one.
Okay.
That's a V60 and all those things. But this is like a not ready to drink, but easy to make, kind of thing. So there are these verticals of products in coffee in itself, which we are getting into quite rapidly now. We'll be launching about 6 to 8 products now. It's all about building a coffee platform. So we call ourselves a coffee platform rather than a cafe per se. So all these products form a part of that.
Acha. So when you package it, you said you give to 250 odd stores and all.
Yeah.
Is there some shelf life to it? Or?
Yeah. So we preferably always say that consume it after 7 days of roasting because there's a lot of carbon dioxide that goes
after 7 days.
After 7 days of roasting.
And within how many days it should be consumed?
About 4 weeks, 5 weeks.
Acha, utna shelf life रहता है.
In fact, it's 12 months, so to speak.
Right.
I mean, it's a food product. It doesn't go bad, but the best of the experience is between the 7 and the 4 week mark. And utna consume ho hi jata hai. So that's how we've done our supply chain also, along with our partner cafes, that we track the consumptions, let them know last year you did this much, this year we are sending you this much right now. So we are integrated onto that. So that's one of our very core USPs and kind of way of functioning where we kind of help them rather than they telling us when to order, we tell them when to order.
In terms of operation, yaar, ye batao, you say you directly source from the
Estates.
farmers and estates. Yep. Then there is no middleman.
No.
What does that mean? Do you visit personally to estates? Kaisa hota hai?
Yeah, there's no question on that. We visit the coffee estates personally every year. And if we visit like about say 50 estates, we only work with 5 or 10. It's kind of that. Because not for the percentage of it, not for the 5-10 number as a number per se.
But this works for you, this doesn't work for you.
Some is ready, some are not ready.
Acha.
It's kind of that. Some are like not qualitatively ready, some are not volumetrically ready, all those things. And then some could get better next year. It's kind of that. But when I say that there's no middleman, earlier what used to happen was that coffee used to be traded through a middleman. Okay, so like you have a coffee estate.
There must be some guy over there जो procure करेगा.
अलग 100 estate से भी procure कर
उधर आपको देगा.
और वो सारा mix करके आपको दे रहा है.
Right.
तो आपका traceability नहीं है. You don't have a single origin.
True.
Where it comes from, no narrative. You don't know the relation of the farmer, and then he buys it for 10 and sends it for 100.
Yeah.
So here what we are doing is we're buying it for 15 already. So there's a already disconnect of the middleman. And we are putting the name of that coffee estate on the packet. So they also get the recognition. They also get to know that their coffee is going. So there's a direct consumer to farmer kind of a relation.
But walk me through the process. You go to, let's say, Chikmagalur SDR. तू उधर गया, अभी क्या?
Lot of things. So we carry a small sample roaster, right? And we meet these estate owners. We find their coffee plants, cherries, etc. Look at the estates, look at the processing stations, have a conversation with them, taste the coffees over there, roast the coffees over there, taste it, make a plan. How much do we need? Do we need this in a portfolio right now? Is the country ready for this? Are we using it for championship? Are we using it for internal consumptions? All these things. So bunch of things are there, and the strategy for the next year. So this year, if you're going, we are making a strategy for next year also with the farmer. That this is what we are thinking. This is what we should change. It's very exciting. It's very exciting.
In terms of volume, how much do you procure for 1 year?
We do nearly about 150 tons a year at the moment.
And you procure everything at bulk buy रहता है एक ही time?
Now we'll start that because we have a bigger facility.
But then where do you store that?
That's what we've got a bigger facility now. So it's a larger space. We are building it out right now. Where I was last night.
Cold storage?
It's not actually a cold storage. We are bringing a very different concept to India, and building in Nagpur again. So very, very excited for that.
But how do you store 100 tons of what? Temperature? You need temperature, humidity.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you want it below 20 degrees.
Yeah,
the green means, and you want humidity to be maintained like a normal room temperature, a room condition sort of a thing. You don't want it to be too humid.
Very interesting, na?
Yeah.
I like to understand things, and this is something I had no idea about. Yeah. So this is the first time I'm discovering how things work.
Yeah. It's kind of how stuff works.
Yeah. So that's the main reason I started this thing. तेको पता है क्या कि
really
I am very curious about everything except a few things. जैसे movies and all don't interest me at all.
Okay.
मेरे को आज भी नहीं पता कि कौन किसका बेटा है किसको.
That's good. Yeah.
नहीं मालूम मेरे को. When I go somewhere and have these बाकी लोग ये बात करते हैं ना, I'm all
muted, like not muted, zoned out. Yeah.
I don't know how is this गलती मेरा. I don't know what. I can't recognize any actress after Priyanka Chopra. मेरे को सब सेम लगते हैं. तो इतना देख, I don't watch movies.
Right.
So I don't know who is Kiara Advani. I don't know is.
Oh wow.
नहीं मालूम मेरे को.
Nice.
Neither do I follow them on Instagram. Who's rating who's किसने कौन सा गाड़ी लिया वगैरह. It's not my forte at all. You ask me about technology. मैं आपसे बहुत बात कर लूँगा. You talk to me philosophy, building, growth. These are my points, but ये नहीं पता यार. So this is very interesting for me.
Yeah.
What you're doing. So this is a completely different part of my brain is unlocked right now. So
glad.
Can I come along?
100%. It's always open. We always give roastery tours and all. In fact,
नहीं मेरे को सिर्फ देखने का है what you do और कुछ नहीं.
For sure. In fact, we are also doing a trip down to Chikmagalur, and we want to take as many guests as who are interested. So that Chikmagalur, या तो फिर Coorg, या तो फिर Yercaud somewhere, and we'll be taking you directly to the processing stations as well.
Exactly.
That is it's a game changer, man. It is something. Like deep into the forest. There's these. It's cold. You're processing the coffees, and the time moves so fast over there when you're doing this because it's back to back.
Production line.
It cannot stop.
Yeah.
Even though you're like, okay, we have planned it through, but there's so many things that can go wrong. You have to be at it completely. So that's something which is very, very exciting, And
how many days of a visit is that?
This one, I mean, I will personally be at one place for 4 days, but we got to keep it like a 3-day for everybody. From there, we'll be moving to other stations, then other station, then other station.
I'll love to drive also.
Yeah, from Bangalore to Chikmagalur is a beautiful drive.
Yeah.
We always do that.
Coorg also.
Beautiful.
Nagpur, Bangalore is sorted. 12 hours drive.
Is it? Okay.
Not a lot.
Oh, yeah.
Hyderabad.
We avoid traveling from here is because there is so much internal travel that we have to do over there from one corner to the other corner, and you have to save time, energy, and then you have to do a lot of things. So we just go from Bangalore to other places and all. But there are these other places that we are working with: Nagaland, Meghalaya, Sikkim. All these coffees are so interesting at the moment. Very different, unique flavor profile, and something that a consumer can easily find out. It's not something that our cuppers note will reflect onto that, because if I give it to you a Sikkim one and a Chikmagalur one, you'll be like, okay, there needs to be a difference, boss.
Right.
It's the same for me.
Yeah, random thought. You said the coffee needs to be chocolatey, nutty. That's what majority people will consume. Do different parts of world consume?
Yeah.
Is the taste profile must be different, na?
A lot. A lot.
But in India, does it differ from region wise? Ki same hi hota hai?
Majorly average is the same.
Okay.
So that's a very good question actually. Because you would think ki, well, let me put it this way. To call it a good South Indian sambar or call it a good sambar, on an average you will find everybody calling a good sambar, right? On an average you'll find people calling this butter chicken is a good butter chicken. Like, not like a Bangalore jisme wo kadi patta dal diya. You won't eat that, right? Similarly, that's how India functions. Everybody is in the same headspace and same direction as a ballpark in the entire bell curve. But when you go to places like Scandinavian countries, dude, so India mein, the consumption is about 110 grams per person per year.
Yeah.
Right? It came up from 70 grams, not 110, 220. It came up from 70 grams in 4-5 years. In Scandinavian countries, it is 7 kilos per person per year.
My God.
7 kgs.
Coffee consumption.
Yes.
भाई jitters नहीं आते होंगे, nervous system.
Imagine the consumption that they. And all light roasted, all light fruity, jack fruity, blah blah blah, all those things. Beautiful coffees. So country to country it changes.
Obviously, it has to be.
It changes quite a lot.
So export नहीं हो रहा ना अभी.
Abhi we are doing.
Not doing that.
But that's very small, hardly any quality. But that's not the.
Is it on the books?
Not really. I mean, is it on the books? Yeah, it's on the books. Yeah. But hardly anything like it is for.
Is that a big space, great space to be in?
For the traders, for sure. For the green bean processing people, for sure. But for roasters, at the moment, not really.
Abhi, you said you have 9 branches in the city. How do you manage that? Operational care, I mean, ध्यान कैसे रखते हो? Quality, processes, systems. How do you do that?
So, processes and systems were never built, they're always getting built. If you think that आज बना लिया और कल नहीं होगा,
नहीं वो तो update करना ही पड़ेगा ना.
Every day you are building systems, so you're a part of the system.
Yeah.
You know, and everybody's a part of the system. So one thing is very important, that you need to let your team to know about what the 3 months, 6 months are going to be like.
Yeah.
You know, and fit them in the right place at the right time. That's very, very critical. And then one thing follows the other, you know, because you have to, in India, you have to leave some big margins for the uncalled situations, you know, the unexpected situations. It's never going to be a to B. And I say that in India is because there is so much happening at the same time. So many developments, so many changes, so many things happening that you are bound to be surprised, you know. So you need to, अगर 9 घंटा काम कर सकते हो तो 6 घंटा ही काम करो, 3 घंटा रुको, रखो, to keep, you know. So you need to work with margins quite a lot. And systems, I love building systems. I don't like to run systems, you know. Yeah, I can't run systems. I love building stuff. But if you ask me that, you know what, this is what every day I am like, oh, a problem that's been solved, I can only improvise that. I'm not going to run that. So we've got a team who's been with me for like, I mean, we've been not with me, but we've been working for like 7 years now, 8 years now, who know the sentence before I even start the first word kind of a thing. So plus new team joining in, plus Richa joining in, everybody's Urvashi ma'am, everybody kind of taking the entire ownership of their department and building it out. Plus, you got to remember this thing, and I say that always with the team also कि आप आज जो भी systems बना रहे हो वो अगले 10 दिन में destroy होने वाला है.
Right.
So don't over romanticize that. Build it realistically. Because जो 10 stores के लिए है वो 20 में नहीं लगेगा, जो 20 में वो 30 में नहीं लगेगा और 300 में नहीं लगेगा. So you have to be ready to change, but then you need a bracket made. The bracket will keep expanding.
Right.
That is one thing that people need to understand, or else it's just and also one thing is like it's very important to look at it as a team game rather than like a individual game, you know. Like as we speak right now, there are 3 stores which are running 24/7. I can't be up 24/7. If I have to be up 24/7, it's no point.
Are we allowed to have 24/7 stores in Nagpur?
Yeah, you're allowed.
But so if I go to a Brim outlet,
Yeah.
how do you make sure कि all Brim outlets have the same taste? वो operationally processes डालना सबको आज एक barista गया कल दूसरा आएगा.
Yeah.
Taste सबका brewing style. There has to be some metrics to it.
Yeah, for sure. There are the tools and equipments that come to basically measure those things. Plus, there is team who's dedicated towards training, team dedicated towards store supervisions, and all parameters add up to one place only, you know. And then there's always a constant shuffling from one store to the other. That's always happening because that is how, you know, when 2 people are working at the same space, making the same mistake over and over again, and then the third one comes in and they correct him, so the 2 gets corrected, you know. It's kind of, you're going to keep kind of intermixing everybody. So there's hierarchy in place. I was never a fan of hierarchy, but hierarchy is the most important thing that you need in the world. Your KPIs, your KRAs have to be super, super clear. It could be a 3-liner. But anytime when you put a KRA or a KPI saying that you gotta have 15% better customer service, you gone. Garbage it, burn it, throw it. How do you measure it? What you can't measure, you can't improve. It's as simple as that. So keep your KPIs, keep your KRAs very strong. Have a hierarchy set. Bring the ownership in the team. Keep everybody on the same page. Keep them motivated. Have chats. Have some discussions. You know, all these things. And again, we are not a big brand at all. We're just 9 stores right now. When it comes to like a 40, 50, 70, 100, 200, then all these things are going to be like more. So right now, we're not getting tested, to be honest. It's just 9 is not a big number.
It's not as small as well, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, sure, that's one way. But then again, where we want to head to,
Obviously,
that
the dream is big, obviously. As a big, again, random thought. 2 questions. Why don't you franchisee the Brim thing vertical? And second, can every Brim outlet have 1-star product? Every different location based.
Yeah.
So this is the USP of this outlet. This is the,
Yeah.
or maybe every Brim outlet has a different note that has different profile of people.
Yeah.
Can you do that? Does that work, or am I thinking far ahead?
No, you're not thinking far ahead. I'll answer the second question first. You're not thinking far ahead, but then, you know, your SOPs and your entire standardization goes for a toss.
True.
You want to keep just 7% scope for experimentation. 93 has to be like just straightforward. And of the 7%, it should be like such that, you know, it's a 2-part process for me to explain it to you as a team member and you to the customer. Because I tell you A, you tell A+1, that consumer expect and send A+, B+2, you know, it's kind of that. But you have to keep it very simple, very straightforward. That's what I feel. And then all brims are kind of made in a certain different elemental chain. Like right now, what we opened in Sadar, it's got these furniture stuck on the roof. You know, you've put up furniture, hanging furniture in a way. So some of the other elements are there in a different way. But what happens in the consumer mindset is, and also the categorical decision of making it not a Corridor 7 mini, but a Brim, was because I wanted people not to search for a Corridor 7 and then go to the outlet and say, oh dude, this is a takeaway, I don't want that, you know?
Yeah.
So that is the reason for it to be different. And then when they come to Brim, they want the usual. They don't want ki sir yahan pe special hai, wo wahan. It kind of, it's good for marketing, but then operationally it becomes like lacking. And the franchisee answer, well, I don't want to franchise it, man. Like, too many people to deal with, too many people to handle. All stores don't function the same way.
It can be a cocoa thing.
Maybe, but then we'll look at the the company level investments itself, because we like to keep the profits with us in a way.
Yeah, true.
At the same time, franchisee agreements and all those things are something else. We can sell like 200 franchisees today, like very, very easily.
Exactly.
But I'm not looking at an exit. We want to be a part of it. We want to build it out. We want to take it gradually.
You keep it a cocoa model.
Yeah.
So
But that's okay.
SOP driven.
All said and done, how much ever you do cocoa, like I'll take my conversation back to 2013 when there was this guy called Amit Ahuja. I think I'm going to reach out to him again. He used to run this place called Tea Halt and randomly send a mail to him in the morning. Got up at 5 and I just wrote a mail, hey Amit, I hope it's my lucky day, and you reply blah blah blah. And then he was very kind enough to call me the same day, and then he started talking and he gave me an example of why not to do franchise, and that got stuck with me.
Okay.
So he started that in Delhi and then he sold some franchise in Amritsar. And Amritsar में उनके मेन्यू में जो फ्रेंचाइजी ओनर्स थे या पार्टनर्स थे, और बोला कि सर हमारे यहाँ छोले भटूरे मांग रहे लोग, प्रीमियम टी प्लेस लाइक सर हमारे छोले भटूरे अग्रीमेंट में नहीं है, हम लोग मेन्यू देने वाले तो बोला नेक्स्ट टाइम मैं जो विजिट करने गया अंदर में छोले भटूरे लगा दिए. So that got stuck with me, and it is like, boss, your paperwork has to be so strong that that's not for me. That's not for me.
No, I mean, it's loud thinking,
For sure. For sure. Because a lot of players, they open franchise and they buy back from them.
Yeah.
That's also a thing. To expand and then raise capital and then get back together and all those things are there. But at the moment, we don't want.
Exactly. What's the difference between coffee that people are having here in your stores versus a champion level coffee? Championship.
Man, world of difference. World of difference. Like, it's so measured at the championship level that it's a different thing altogether, man. I mean, your prices of the coffee that you're using, first of all, the coffee that I was using was at 26,000 rupees a kg, which essentially is just 40 cups of coffees. Do the math, for 26 divided by 40 is like 466, like whatever it is, it's coming out to be. The quality of coffee, the processing that was done, the kind of water that was used to brew, the refractometer reading, the TDS, the hardness, the softness, the extractions, bunch of it. It's a different world altogether. I mean, it's almost like, what is the difference between you driving on the road versus Michael Schumacher driving on Formula 1? It's almost like that,
Right.
It has to be so precise, so consistent, and that was fun. Yeah, I mean, preparing for the championships and winning and then representing India was a journey. That was something, like it was one of the toughest things that I've ever done in my life, very easily. And I would always, whenever a team comes up to my senior team members, and the senior team member comes to me and says that, there are a few team members who are saying, ये नहीं है हमारे पास, या वो देखो वो brand के पास है. So I just tell them, share it with them one thing, that when I won the Barista Championship in India, I was preparing on a 7-year-old coffee machine, जिसमें से पानी सब जगह से drip हो रहा है. And I didn't want to buy a new machine, So I think that is very important, that a place where you want to be so consistent and precise till you're practicing on that, you should make gold out of everything, is what I feel. So championship coffee and your regular coffee, world of difference, man.
मेरा एक patient है who works at Glenfiddich.
Okay. Wow.
Plant. And so I asked him कि वो जैसे बन के, I mean, before you put it in the barrel, after it matures and comes out,
what is the difference?
He's like, sir, it's like, sir, desi daru versus, ठीक है? Then I was like, so I like Scotch. I like good Scotch.
Yeah.
Ek बढ़िया sit in the balcony with the wife, pour a drink for both of us,
Yeah.
and
Nice. Yeah.
I would drink on the rocks. What it relaxes you.
Yeah.
I had asked him कि can you differentiate between ये? So like sir, I am into this business, पर मेरा अभी बोलना है सर 3 ड्रिंक के बाद ब्लेंडर भी वही लगती है, ये भी वही लगता है. True. तो
True.
ऐसा कॉफी के साथ भी होता है क्या?
कॉफी के साथ तब होता है एक पॉइंट के बाद. So I judge the championships now, right? So when I was judging the Malaysian Espresso Championship, and I told Richa very specifically that, listen, today when I come back home, I am going to be in the worst of my mood. So just be prepared, because in the entire day, I had to consume 46 espressos. Fuck. And judge it. 46. And you have to finish it because the competitor is waiting for your judgment.
But
46.
how much is it?
That's
It's a sip.
That's more than
It's a sip.
30-35 ml, but it's more. You are angry, you want to hit somebody, you want to punch somebody on the road, you want to do something, the thing is, you as a judge, you have to still be able to taste it through, and the same happens in the Q grading examination.
Then how do you cleanse your palate यार?
Soda.
एक पिया तूने
Soda,
बस.
water, because you can't eat, because you want to keep your palate fresh.
Exactly.
So consuming water. Believe me, the entire washroom starts smelling of coffee. I'm not even joking. Entire your everything the next day, your sweat is smelling like coffee. It's kind of that. Then the Q grading examination that I did in Melbourne 2017. In the span of 6 days, I tasted about 650 cups of coffees and scored it, graded it, tasted it. It is not easy. So as fancy, as glorified, as beautiful it looks from the outside, the amount of things that you have to go through, 650 cups of coffees, 6 days, it's not easy. It's not easy.
Jitters नहीं आते भाई.
आते है ना? तो बहुत आते हैं.
Start L-theanine थोड़ा सा लेना.
What's that?
L-theanine supplement आता है.
Okay.
It kind of keeps the jitters, caffeine away.
Is it potassium based?
No. L-theanine is it's not a brand. L-theanine is a molecule.
Okay.
तो वो किस brand का आता है मेरे को नहीं पता.
Okay. Because we
It's a supplement.
okay, we nullify that with a banana, consuming a banana.
That's potassium. I think it eventually breaks down into L-theanine. I'm not sure. देख लेना एक बार. L-theanine लेते हैं.
Yeah.
एक competition है. Do you still do competitions?
Not yet. Again, right now. But
How do you train for a competition?
oof. So Barista Championship. There are different championships.
Yeah.
Barista Championship was, I wanted to compete in the championship since 2012, when I did not even know coffee would be my journey in a way, but I wanted to. And Barista Championship was announced on the 9th of July 2022 in India, and I started preparing for that. Actually, 15th of July was announced, and I started preparing for that for the first time. On the 23rd of July, I went to Dubai to get trained under my coach, and I had no clue क्या करना पड़ता है. Genuinely speaking, I had no clue, because मैंने कभी वो 15 मिनट का routine मैंने देखा ही नहीं है, because I always knew it's like golf. If you look at somebody hitting the ball, you'll be like, what stupid it is, right? But then what happens behind, till the time you don't play, you don't know.
Exactly.
So I was like, I don't want to watch a routine. I just want to win this championship is all I know. And I went to Dubai, and first day my coach says, what all do you want to talk about? I'm like, whatever, man. I run a YouTube channel. I can talk whatever. He's like, no. What is it that you want to talk about? By the way, I selected the coffee that I wanted to present back in 2019. I just knew, but the time was 2022. I was like, I'm going to go all guns blazing. First day of coaching, first day, all right. Championship tables are set and the practice session exactly how it is. Judges are there. I was given a script. I thought that it is okay to say, if the script says, hi judges, it's an honor to be in front of you. Today I'm going to keep it easy. is the actual script. It's okay to say, "Hi judges, hope you're doing well. Today I'll be keeping it all easy." I thought it's okay to say that. It has to be dot to dot,
सही में
word to word, exactly the same way. Because, I mean, not सबका script अलग रहता है, सबका ये अलग रहता है. Because my hand movements and what I'm doing has to be in sync. It's almost like a dance performance.
okay
So while I'm filling the water, I'm looking at you, I'm talking about it, because then each judge ka experience has to. So first is learn that, then make it genuine, then keep doing it again and again and again. First day, I'm not even kidding, around for 8 hours, I was only doing, "Hi judges, it's an absolute honor today. Today I'm going to keep things nice and easy and I'm filling water." 8 hours only this sentence, because kabhi pani ka level iska zyada, uska kam, iska, all these things happening, the learning curve was so massive that on the day one, I remember, I'm like, "Bro, what have you gotten into yourself? Like, what have you gotten yourself into?" And I wanted to cross check, hey, if the script has to be repeat the same way or you can have a variation, etc. So I messaged my mentor, who was 2016's World Coffee Roasting Champion. I messaged him like, "Hey, my coach over here is saying that you gotta practice this 40 times. Before the routine has to be practiced at least 40 times, the same way. So is it true?" He's, "Well, he won't." No, he's wrong. You have to do it 400 times. So second, third, fourth day was just super challenging, getting into it, training and all. And I remember one of the routines, and मेरे से ना रट के नहीं होता है, it's against me. And imagine 15-minute का routine, you have to mug it up and say it, and that time you're doing technically, you're pulling those shots, making sure that coffee is coming out. Oh my god, it's too much, bro. It's too much. And then I come back to India on 27th, so 5 days coaching, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31. आज का क्या डेट है, by the way?
आज है 26
Oh, really? 26 July. Wow, this is 26, 4 years back.
सही में आज के दिन तू जीता था
4 years,
क्या बात
जीता नहीं था, 4 years back मैं पानी भर रहा था. ठीक है. And then I competed in Bangalore. The first time when I did was, say, August 2nd was a championship. That was fun, man. That was fun. Getting on the, I love that thing. Getting on the stage, and then just performing. And the funny thing was, a very weird thing was, on the day of the final, that was 7th of August, 3 p.m. I had to go on stage, and 9 a.m. I get up, and uske pehle, ek din pehle, me and my coach, we had tasted bunch of coffees, and I couldn't sleep at all. I slept at 5 somehow, got up at 9, and I got up, I was brushing my teeth, and मैं ऐसा मुड़ा, this left muscle tore, it snapped.
क्यों
No idea.
तू बैडमिंटन नहीं खेल रहा था ना तब
नहीं, but कुछ भी नहीं कर रहा था. It was not like badminton related or something. Fuck. It tore, and it was like when I did, I'm like, "Ooh," and I couldn't breathe. It was a snap, and I could feel that कि ऐसा कुछ तो भी एक loose something snapped,
कहाँ दुबई में
Bangalore में.
बैंगलोर में
And I had to reach at 10 a.m. Reporting was 10 a.m. And I called my coach. I'm like, "Got a bad news. I tore my back muscle." And he's like, "No way." I'm like, no, we are winning it. That's not a question. I'm just going to take a little bit of time, but I'm going to be there for sure. We are winning it. He's like, "Dude, what are you talking about?" Then the doctor came up. He's like, "How the hell did you tear it?" फिर मेरे को याद आया कि एक दिन पहले मैंने ऐसे नीचे उठ के ग्राइंडर उठाया था मैंने. And I think that was because grinders are heavy, like 20, 25 kgs, odd weight here and there. And then I remember I going there, I had around 8 painkillers, antacid, whatever, all those things. The doctor was just giving me, I'm like, "Yeah, just do whatever the hell you want to do. Put me injection, put me do whatever it is. I am going to go on stage." The doctor said, "You can't go on the stage because you're going to faint, you're going to fall, you don't have balance." I'm like, "That is not an option. You just put me, make me stand.
पेन कंट्रोल कर लो
हाँ, make me stand, बस उतना कर लो."
ट्रू
And then my coach, कहीं से तो भी उसने some spray he got, he sprayed it. Sweat took it to some other places also. So that was also painful. But I remember
Balls
going
on
on stage.
fire.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Absolutely. It was like that. But my turn came. I was on the stage at 3 p.m. I was on autopilot mode. The routines were 15 minutes. I realized I'm on stage on the 6th minute. Before that, it was all autopilot. मुझे कुछ भी नहीं समझ रहा था. And the routine got over. Everything gets packed off the stage, go out, and I am then sleeping right on the road. And I had got knocked out. मुझे कुछ भी नहीं याद है half an hour. People are like waking me up and all that, but the pain was so unreal. It was so unreal that I realized, and I couldn't get up. I was limping. But yeah, I won. So that was kind of that was something. That was something.
So what happened to the muscle afterwards? See, the doctor in me aa jata hai.
Yeah, I did not get time to recover on it. So I had to do physiotherapy. It's still kind of not in a good shape, but physiotherapy, acupuncture, because I have to go now for the World Championship. So August 7th, this is there. And 27th September, I have to be on the world stage. So I don't have the time to recover. And muscles, as you know, wouldn't be recovered by then. Strapping and physiotherapy and some way or the other, managing the pain and all that. So now it's fine. Now it's better. Much better.
But no surgical intervention?
No, nothing.
New. Ho gaya.
Yeah, nothing on that.
What's the difference between an AeroPress machine and an espresso machine?
AeroPress is a manual one. You know, it does not need electricity or anything.
अच्छा वो
You just have to press it down.
hydraulic type जो रहता
No,
है.
with your hand you can press it down.
Okay.
Works on the concept of pressure and vacuum in a way. Espresso is about 9 bar pressure. So your water tap is like about 2 bar, but your espresso machine is a 9 bar pressure, which like you take finer ground coffee and then pack it in a portafilter, and then the pressure basically extracts the entire coffee. It first touches the coffee particles, goes inside, and then pulls out all the kind of the solubles out of it, and then it extracts an espresso.
So if the same coffee तूने grind किया है,
It'll taste different.
very different.
Will taste very different. It will be. It's almost like if you have a mango.
Oh, वो French press is the AeroPress रहता है.
No,
क्या?
French press is like just a mesh going down.
हाँ,
That's about it.
right.
AeroPress is like a complete pressure kind
Okay.
of, because it creates a vacuum and then you're pressurizing it.
Okay.
So it's about 2 to 3 to 4 bar pressure kind
Okay.
of thing. So that's AeroPress. So, but it'll taste different. It's almost like you will be like, okay, this is coffee, but I can't make out that this is the same coffee. No.
For me, मेरे को समझेगा क्या?
No.
नहीं समझ.
Even for a lot of regular roasters, it'll be difficult कि यार ये same coffee है क्या, you know, it's kind of that.
But for you, because it's your life, this is your what you do.
Yeah,
You will figure it out.
yeah, for sure. और फिर
वो क्या रहता है वो pot
mocha pot.
हाँ
Mocha pot, yeah, the Italian thing, like
Yeah,
you keep it in
yeah.
nature and gas में, and then that's another way. So that's not on pressure, but it kind of has got a heavy body. And
capillary action से होता होगा.
correct. So it's almost like a espresso,
Yeah.
so to speak, but has a very different gritty kind of a taste. Espresso में you don't get the grittiness. It's
Smokiness आता होगा ना थोड़ा सा.
depends on the coffee. If it's a dark roasted coffee, then smokiness would be there.
So what's the best cup of coffee तूने कभी पिया रहेगा? किधर भी और किधर? सब मोरक्कन वगैरह ऐसा.
Gardelli coffee roaster, 2019, and that coffee was 20 grams जो आया था, and that was about $3,600. I can never forget that coffee again. I mean, ever.
Where was this?
This we had brewed it in ourselves. I had got to, where had it gone? Somewhere outside, and I got that coffee bag and I brewed it over here. I will never forget that. I remember me and my team member, we had that cup of coffee. We brewed that, we split the espresso. I had one sip, he had one sip. He went in one corner, I went in one corner, and we were just sitting. It was like a strawberry.
क्या बात कर रहे हो? Zen type हो गया था क्या?
If I want to meditate, I'll go think about that coffee again.
सही में?
It was beautiful.
Where does that come from?
This guy is from Italy, if I'm not wrong. Gardelli coffee. It's been a while. I haven't seen him. There was some tragedy that happened with him also. I think his son got kidnapped or something that happened. Long back, 6-8 years back now. But I can never forget that 6-8 years back. And I must have had like a million cups of coffee so far. But that cup I'll never forget. It was something, man. But actually, one more cup that I'll never forget is the first cup of coffee in Melbourne. You know, like I've been drinking CCA as we were speaking. And the first day I reached Melbourne and I have a cup of coffee, I'm like, hold on, boss. This is, okay. This is what coffee you guys are. Okay. You know, it's kind of that recalibration of your. Like, it's almost like when people are having butter chicken in London and New York and they come to India, like, oh, hold on, boss. It was kind of that moment.
But somehow Indian food tastes better outside. मैंने देखा. I don't know.
I'll argue about that.
No,
yeah, I would argue on that.
When you go to the West, I totally agree. Different taste. But you go to the Middle East, the Indian food is much better outside.
I mean, I would say the local street food like जैसे वाराणसी का food and all those things are like uncomparable.
Obviously, right? वो नहीं, but
butter chicken.
I think it's just the quality control thing that's the matter.
That I understand. Yeah.
कि
the produce.
अब अपने सब export वाला बाहर जाता है, local वाला.
You remember COVID में the kind of onions that we used to get in India?
Yeah.
They're exactly what I used to cut in Melbourne also. I'm like, what happened to you? Did I get a visa?
So, where do you see the growth curve happening abhi Corridor 7 ka? What's the dream?
I mean, dream is, I don't have a dream as such because dream is a restriction, I feel. There's a lot more to do than that. But growth curve right now is about putting our footprint in like at least 10 cities in the next 2 to 3 years. That's what the idea is.
Great.
Yeah. And of course, one country outside. But then also make it as a very serious coffee company where it's a one-stop solution for a lot of things, equipments, coffee, beans, and do bunch of coffee programs that puts the Indian coffee at a much higher scale, higher grade. That's what the entire mission is about.
Does this ever stop?
About
Coffee.
For me or
for you? Ever think about कि I've grown this, I've scaled this, maybe kabhi मैं exit karunga and then I'll do something else.
I mean, as I was saying earlier, that life is beyond coffee also.
Yeah.
There's much more. I don't know. Do I want to stay in this like for 100 years? I don't know. I really don't know. More important is that I started enjoying it more than yesterday. And that's the phase right now. And that is going to be there for a very long time.
Right.
Because now is the time when things start adding up. Now is because we took a lot of critical decisions which are very, very important. Hard calls and hard stops. And some things that have to be done as a founder for sure without any negotiations. And now is the time where we start kind of looking at the results and looking at, we can see the results in a way. And we can zoom at some water. And now is the time where so that question, what's a dream? Ya to fir where it stops? No idea. Long way. Not even started now. It's kind of that.
Must be fun.
Yeah.
I mean, you finally found something that you love.
Yeah.
And you're building that.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't do that.
A lot of people don't get that opportunity. They're not blessed with that, I feel. You know, it feels good. Like coffee out of all things. So not a small thing, yeah.
CA छोड़ा अच्छा हुआ.
Yeah. I mean, not my cup of coffee at all.
But family pressure नहीं आया कभी कि
Never. See,
family basically venturing into uncharted territory.
Yeah.
है ना?
Third.
Family से usually बोलते हैं ना नको करो जाते.
Yeah, my mom started Tupperware at the age of 44.
Right.
Dad, CA, did a banquet business. So, battle is half won over there.
Obviously.
So, you don't have to explain. Of course, as a parent, they would always think about it. But then, they always knew that I'm not made for the regular. I can't fit in the regular thing, unfortunately or fortunately. So they always knew that it'll be this way or the other way, you know, kind of a thing. So yeah, no family pressure as such. That's how battle won.
Exactly. अच्छा एक बात बता, there are so many stores in Nagpur now. After you who are doing coffee, I mean, multiple brands आ गए. Do they have the same taste, or haven't tried गया नहीं?
I don't know because their journey, not mine.
Okay, but are you supplying?
Yeah, for sure.
You are only supplying
A lot of them.
but then the taste तो same होगा ना फिर?
Not necessary.
Why?
It depends on the machine, depends on the brewer, depends on the SOP, depends on the trading.
अच्छा
इतना अगर easy रहता तो फिर मैं तो 500 खोल दिया रहता आज.
अच्छा मतलब तूने उसको you've prepared the beans, grind भी हो गया,
वो grind करेंगे.
उसकी वो भी grind
Yeah.
beans दे दिया, the
Simple.
same bean will taste
The
different.
chai that you made in the morning, I can't make.
अच्छा oh that's the thing. Oh.
I can't make it.
Right.
As simple as that, right? So if it would have been that easy, then we would have been opening 400-500 stores.
No, I mean,
I know what you mean.
I know, जैसे I know कि वो espresso machine में वो तो उतना ही ग्राइंड होके उतना ही जाएगा ना.
उसमें जो होता है अंदर, और आपने जिस तरीके उसको टेक्निकली स्पीकिंग आपने उसको जिस तरीके डिस्ट्रीब्यूट किया या टैम्प किया, स्ट्रेटन किया, या आपका मशीन का आपने किस तरीके से क्लीन किया है, उसका प्रेशर क्या है,
अच्छा,
व्हाट हैव यू डन विद द मशीन, इज देयर एनीथिंग एल्स, व्हाट इज द टेम्परेचर यू हैव सेट एट. 99% people don't even care about that. So that is where you give us any espresso machine, we are not the people who will be like running behind an espresso machine. We know how to use a machine, you know, that's more important.
True.
So it's not a machine who tells us what how to play.
Yeah, I mean we have robotic surgeries आजकल coming.
Right.
तो बेंचो मैं ही चला रहा हूँ ना, पर वो
Correct.
रोबोट है पर कर तो मैं ही रहा हूँ ना.
Correct.
वो वाली बात है. So I understand that.
Yeah.
अच्छा है. Well, यार it's been how many years? 2000.
Clocky 11th right now in coffee.
No, I'm thinking कि after school कितने 20 साल हो गए?
Yeah.
2004-5
Probably 20 years today. Because अभी टाइम पे रिजल्ट कुछ तो भी आता है. यही होगा.
I mean, मेरे को बड़ा अच्छा लगता है कि you know everybody is doing good.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want to get onto the scale of it. Obviously,
Surely.
आगे पीछे तो सबका होता है. But I feel really good that everybody is in a good place right now.
Yeah.
And
Feels good. Yeah.
are you in किसी से मिलना होता है?
I mean, I've got a set of friends, of course. School के, badminton के. But then, sometimes.
I don't know यार. I mean, I've been through so many cities, medical college. My still primary group of friend is ना school वाले ही है.
For sure.
Yeah.
वो तो that. In fact, with the badminton group that we've got, we can pick up just on the same stories and laugh over and over again.
And you know the best part is किसी को phone नहीं करना पड़ता है.
Yeah.
It's okay you don't talk to somebody for a year. कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता.
Yeah.
It's the best thing.
Yeah.
कि तूने को बर्थडे विश नहीं किया, घंटा कोई कुछ नहीं होता.
Yeah, which reminds me, I have to wish somebody for the 23rd का birthday था उसका. I remember.
Simon sir कहाँ है अभी?
He was working in Vainati. I think he's still working.
He's not retired?
No. Bokar is retired.
I know, he's my favorite now.
He's your? Oh, okay.
A lot of school teachers na?
Yeah, is it?
I'm taking care of their
Oh, wow.
eyes and all.
Wow.
It really feels very
Different, eh?
different.
Yeah.
कि they still treat me the same अपना बच्चा करके, and that is what
Yeah. Feels good.
It feels good.
Yeah, man.
But Simon sir वो भी 60 plus हो गए होंगे ना यार?
नहीं यार.
क्या बात कर रहा?
50s, mid-50s probably.
सही में?
I think so, mid-50s. I don't think so, 60.
I met him at some किसी मैरिज में कहीं क्रॉस हुए थे शायद.
50s हो गए यार.
सही में?
Yeah.
Last time I saw him was a year or two back. पर वो एजिंग दिख रहा था अभी.
Yeah. बोकार सर का बहुत
हो गया.
वो is actually he's not doing well, I feel.
दोनों से मार खाया मैंने.
रॉबिन सर तो हमने बहुत खाया है.
सही है.
Good school days.
Yeah. तुम बॉम्ब फोड़ा था क्या?
कभी नहीं. मेरे नाम पे आया था बहुत कुछ. मेरे ऊपर बहुत आया था.
नहीं किया.
बॉम्ब नहीं फोड़ा मैंने नल नहीं फोड़े, मैंने टॉयलेट नहीं फोड़ा है, मैंने आग नहीं लगाया है, बट ये सब मेरे ऊपर आया हुआ है. और ये कोइंसिडेंटली उन दिन हुआ था जिस दिन मैं स्कूल में भी नहीं आया था. तो आया हुआ एलिबाई कि बॉस मैं नहीं था. इट्स नॉट पॉसिबल कि मैं हैच करके ऐसा नीचे लगा के जाऊंगा एंड ऑल दिस थिंग.
मेरे को एक बार ना टॉक के लिए बुलाया था.
हाँ.
व्हेन बुटानी मैम, तो ऑडिटोरियम वगैरह कुछ बनाया. आई वेंट देयर एंड द फर्स्ट क्वेश्चन आई आस्क्ड, बॉम्ब फोड़ते क्या बेबी? तुम सब मेरे को ऐसे पीछे से देख रहे थे, क्या घटिया लौंडा है. फन डेज यार.
School was the best.
Was the best. Thanks for doing this यार मिथिलेश. मेरे को
Pleasure, man.
This is I'm telling you, my Sunday is going to be very good today.
Yeah.
आज मैं दिन भर I'm going to understand coffee,
Oh yeah.
not the taste part of it.
Probably you'll get into the next part of it.
So, but the operations part of it and all,
Yeah.
sourcing and everything, the technical
Yes.
part of it, I'll understand this. Hopefully, I'll ever come to the other side of coffee as well.
Yeah. You would love it. The tech and all those things in that what you're using, you will love it.
मैं वो रैंडम वीडियो देखा था कोई, देयर इज दिस केमिस्ट्री सेट जिससे वो कॉफी ब्रू करता है.
Siphon. हाँ.
इट्स लाइक अ पिपेट.
Yeah.
जिससे
Vacuum pressure.
वैक्यूम प्रेशर से वगैरह सब बकचोदी टाइप.
बहुत सारा चीजें हैं इसमें भाई, बहुत सारा है.
इंटरेस्टिंग दिखा मेरे को.
A lot of things.
Yeah,
But yeah, it was pleasure, man.
absolutely. एक बार लेट्स गो फार्म पे चल.
For sure.
I know you have a busy schedule.
No, but
What's your something we do?
Yeah.
Enjoy.
Love to.
Get your dog as well.
My dog is not dog friendly.
Your dog is not dog.
That's the problem.
Oh, yeah.
COVID.
Oh, अच्छा.
So that is the problem. So
7 years ना अभी तो मुश्किल है.
she only gets along with, she likes to dominate the street dogs around. और जाती है चल नीचे हो तो वो dog ऐसा उल्टा सो जाता है, no?
Yeah, but the only thing मेरे को मेरा dog is still a virgin है.
Okay.
मैं इतना कोशिश किया, बोला भाई गो जवान है कर ले. भाई साहब को मानना ही नहीं.
Soon. Chal super man.
Thanks यार.
Thank you so much, bro.